Morning, America. We are at the shop. There's the shop over there. Storage container, neighbor's house. This is my trailer. It's just a basic trailer, right? Just a cargo trailer. Got the door that folds out into a ramp, bumper pole. I think it's 18 foot by 8, something like that. Anyway, this was my mobile garage for many years. I was driving a truck, and the only thing I had was the truck. I lived in the truck, I slept in the truck, I worked in the truck, I did everything in the truck. And not the one we got now, not the Peterbilt. This was many years ago, and all I did was drove the truck all the time. I never went, I didn't have a house or an apartment or anything. I lived in the truck full time for many years. And this was my mobile garage. And what I would do with it, I would want to buy a ATV or a motorcycle or something like that. Well, I don't have any place to store it. I take it down, go down to a storage center, you know, and rent one of the storage complexes. Those add up over time. They really do. With a couple years, you put enough money into those, you could put money into a trailer and it's yours, you know. It doesn't cost anything. And you don't have to worry about somebody repoing your stuff or selling your stuff off because you didn't pay the bill in time. So this became a mobile garage, basically. What I would do is work at a company, and I had my pickup and I had this trailer, and I would take it and park it at their property, at their terminal. Okay, in the employee parking lot. And when I'd come home, back to the terminal, I had a motorcycle I could get on, ride around and go have fun with, or an ATV to go out in the hills and go, you know, four-wheeling or whatever. And I had a place to store stuff, just, you know, what few things I had that I didn't want in the semi, I could park them here. Snow chains. During the summer, I could put my snow chains over here in a box, you know, that kind of stuff. So anyway, this became a mobile garage for me for years. And then we were at NASCAR back in 04, 05, something like that. I was in the semi, and it dawned on me one day, why don't I take the trailer out there? Build the trailer out and make it a steel tent on wheels. That's an idea. So none of this was done. It was just, you know, plywood walls, and none of this was done, okay? And took a mattress, threw it on the floor, and drug it out to NASCAR and lived in it for the weekend. Not a long term, just a weekend camping. This is a step up from a tent, but it's way step down from an RV. And it was cheap. I already had it, you know. I didn't pay anything for it, you know, or didn't have to spend any more money on it. So that was the idea behind it. It was an RV, a redneck RV for NASCAR. So, come home, or after that year, got to thinking, we could build this out a little nicer. So what I did is took the plywood walls off and put an inch of foam insulation. It's polystyrene, it's pink foam, you know, this stuff up here. I put that in the walls and the ceiling and kind of finished it out. And this is 10 years ago, 12 years ago. This is before all this internet stuff of tiny homes and let's build out a van, or let's make our own, you know, camper out of a cargo truck. YouTube really wasn't even around back then. So I come up with this whole thing all on my own. And then I always kind of felt that I'm a little stupid or a little crazy for doing this, you know. It seemed like, you know, what kind of, you know, I'm the only one that's dumb enough to do this. And then I see on YouTube that everybody else is building one, and I'm like, well, maybe I'm not so crazy after all. So anyway, this was the cargo trailer, and then what I did is I insulated the walls, put the ceiling and the paneling up, and I built a kitchen counter right here. And so that's why when you come in, you throw your coolers in here with your beer and your hamburgers and your steaks and your hot dogs and your lettuce and all your fixins, okay, are in the cooler. Well, digging around in there and making a patty, you don't have a table. I got a table now. So I got a table, I got a shelf, and we put everything up here, and you can do your kitchen work here, okay? You can store your chips and your bread and, you know, hamburger buns up here. Things, you just had places to put things, right? So we got all this stuff, and well, then the next year I realized I'd like to have some water instead of washing out of, you know, a gallon jug. Somebody holding a gallon jug and you're on there rinsing stuff off. Instead of doing that, put a sink in. So I got me a water jug, or a water, the pump that I have in the van. It's a 26-gallon weed sprayer is what it is. It's a weed sprayer that goes on the back of an ATV. And the farmer could put it on the back of the ATV, put his chemicals in there, and go around and spot spray his weeds and, you know, thistles and things like this. Well, you buy them brand new. It's made out of the same stuff as a milk jug is made out of, that white plastic. Can't remember the name of the stuff, but anyway, I took that and stuck it in here, and it already had the pump, it had hose, it had the sprayer, it had all the stuff you need. So I run a hose over here to the sink, and I put a sink in and put a faucet in, and run one cold water over here up into it, and I could wash my silverware, things like this, you know, a plate or whatever. The big stuff you still do outside, a big bowl or whatever, you do it outside. But in here, it's just the simple little thing. It would drain down this pipe into this bucket. And when the bucket got full enough, you'd walk over to the ditch and just pour it out. And all it is, you know, it's not sewage. It's not a black tank. It's just stuff that ran off of the fork that you washed, you know. So it's not terrible, terrible, dirty, nasty stuff. So you take it over and pour it on a tree or something, or in a ditch. And that was simple, simple, simple. And for lighting, you know, use these little lanterns like this. I don't think there's any batteries in this one, but no batteries in it. But you just put a lamp up there like that, or up here, and you have light for the night, you know, and you can. But most of the night you're sitting out there by the campfire anyway. So all you did was come in here to sleep. So it was a sleeping quarters and a food preparation quarters and a place to store stuff so the wind doesn't blow it away. So anyway, that's what I had. Then I started watching all the YouTube stuff and coming up with all, you know, Bob Wells and all that, cheap RV living, and decided I wanted to build my own van. And instead of a cargo trailer, because pulling this trailer with my pickup, I get about 5 miles a gallon. So it's terrible fuel mileage with this thing. It catches the wind terrible, and it's just, and then you got a trailer with you, you dragging around. So I wanted to build a self-contained van so I didn't have to have a trailer behind me, better fuel mileage, more maneuverable, and more livable. So what I've done, I've stolen some parts out of here. A couple of the batteries, the water jug, all that stuff is up in the van now. And what I'm down here today to do is to salvage this. So I've already taken the screws out from underneath it and everything. Well, this just pops out. And we're going to unscrew this, and we're going to take it up to the van and install it in the van. Okay, we're up here at the van now, and I wanted to show you some of the things I've been working on the last few days. Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, day after Christmas, all that. I was pretty busy doing other stuff. And didn't get out here to work on the van very much. I was out here a couple days ago and did a few trim work and put a few things in. Got this in and this in, finished the top, got a new top and got it cut the right notches and everything, got that done. Put this oak trim on the front, got me a bottle opener right there. I don't know why, I'll probably never use it. But kind of got that done. Stepped in here. So this is 2x2 construction back here for strength and all that. Got this panel put, you know, this countertop put in. All this, I got the two down here. I got that all pretty much done. The countertops are all done. I put a board over there. Then the next day I came out and I worked on this faceplate. This is oak trim. And this is what the doors are going to attach to. So there's oak and it's sanded down. There's a little rough edge right there I still need to work on. But anyway, it's the face of it, so it'll look nice and presentable. So got that all done. Got a propane tank down in here. It's just the right size to fit down in here. And then close the doors and it'll be nice and snug. So those are the few things that I did over the last couple days. I was only out here for an hour or two each day. And this is where I'm at with this thing. I've got this sink out of the trailer down there, and I'm about ready to cut a hole in here and stick it in there. And I got to thinking more and more about it. This sink is so small. Maybe before I cut into this, maybe I ought to run down and see what else is available at the store. So I went down there the other day on the way home and looked around and found a nicer sink, I hope. It's bigger, it's a couple inches deeper, and it's quite a bit bigger. It's basically, instead of cutting a hole in this, I think I'm going to be able to take this whole thing off and put the sink in it and be an undermount. Instead of an overmount sink, it can be an undermount sink, I think. So, with that, let's go out and look at that. Let's do the unboxing and see what we got there. I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to see though, okay? See the difference in size? Maybe it doesn't seem like much, but that'll be a huge difference. So I think I'll reuse this here. I've got the size that'll go back into these two holes and everything. So this can all be reused. It's just the pot itself. I'm going to take that out to quartzite and probably give that away to somebody in a van that doesn't have a sink. That's an upgrade for them. So got the strainer, the bottom part. You got the hose, you got the caulking, and I thought this would be a great idea. It's one of the things I don't like about the Semi is this faucet in the Semi comes out and it's right there, and the water goes out and hits right in the hole and goes straight out. It doesn't. So you got to take your hand and splash around the side to wash the sink out. When the sink's dirty, you got to clean it out. So I thought I'm going to see if I can't figure out how to put this in here somehow to where when the thing is, this is not designed for this style of faucet. This is designed for the wider, where the handles are a lot wider, and this here has a spout and you just plug it into the bottom of that. So I'm going to have to try to figure out how to splice wiring in, or the plumbing in. So we'll see how that works. So, but I'm going to try to figure out a way to put this sink in there with that faucet up here, and then this off to the side so I can rinse stuff out. And also, if I have a big container that won't fit under here and I need to get some water, just pull that out and right here. So that's that idea. So that's what I'm going to work on today, and we'll see what kind of progress we've made, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, we got her in. We don't have the plumbing to it yet, but we've got it cut in, dropped in. I still got to put the little clips underneath and tighten it down and put some caulking around it. All right, and then put my hoses back to the water tank. And then I got this thing, I just drilled it right into the wood. Put it right here, and there's a hose that'll connect somehow underneath there. So, it looks good, I like it. I likes it lots. And I've been looking or thinking and wanting to put stainless steel back here so it's easy to clean. But I don't know, I can't think of where to buy stainless steel that would be this size, and it'd be bigger and I'd have to cut it out and it'd probably mess it up. So I'm kind of backing up and thinking different. Maybe the tile, like just in a regular house, the little glass tiles, something like that. Glue that, or however the adhesive that you use, whatever it is, the caulk. I can't think of the right word. Anyway, you trowel it on and then you stick it on and then you put the I cannot think. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So I got a wood countertop. Real nice. I like these, boy. These work counter for a toolbox, man. They're just really nice. So I like that. It's a lot bigger sink. I'm going to like that a lot better. I'm going to run a hose out somewhere, figure out where to run the hose out and drill a hole through the floor and for the drain. So it's coming along little by little. So anyway, that's enough for this video, I think. And what's coming next, I'm not sure. Probably cabinets, I'm thinking, up here and on the other side over here. I'll put a board across top. I'll have to go buy no, actually I got one right over there, brand new one. Piece of plywood to go all the way across there. So that'll have like a shelf. Up here will be a shelf. And then right where the shelf ends, there'll be a cabinets, like, you know, opening cabinets like this, or maybe up and down, I don't know. Anyway, cabinets, I think I'm going to drop them all the way down to here and have them come out maybe about that far. So I'm not hitting my head on them, and they're not in, you know, what do you call it, obstructing sight, you know, visual. So you got this sitting there, and you don't have a cabinet way out here and you can't see, you know. So I think maybe about that far, about 8 inches, something like that. So I have a cabinet up here, come out about 8 inches. This side I can come out a lot farther because I'm not standing over there. So maybe a foot on this side. But anyway, those cabinets will come right here, and then this shelf will be up here, and it just goes around to, you know, a place to put things back in there. Don't know what, but something, you know, something will go somewhere. So the farther I get along on this, the more I don't know, excited isn't the right word, I guess, but it's close. I'm getting more enthused about it, I guess. Earlier it was just a metal box with some of this ugly insulation on it, and I'm scratching my head thinking, my gosh, but the farther I go, the more I can see being in here, you know. Living in this, you know, not living, but, you know, spending time in it. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get some of that hose and bring it up here and see if I can't maybe get this plumbed in and clipped in and kind of finish this up. And once I get it all clipped in, I think I'm right where I want it, how I want it plumbed in. I'll get the silicone out. It's a caulking silicone. I'll lift it up, squirt it under there, and then tighten it back down so it's watertight. And I'll seal these cracks right here. Pour some of that down in there and smooth it off. Make it more watertight. So, it's good. Things are coming along.